shish kebab. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good.
You're always so hyperbolically violent. You need therapy.
Die, Nazi.
He's not a Nazi, GI.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Superlair. We are of course here for Creature Commandos, episode 5. Of course, joined by my usual homie, JG Shaolin. Terrific. How you doing today, man?
Salute, man. I'm feeling pretty good. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Christmas came and went. It was very successful, very nice Christmas. So this episode, man, I'm not gonna say anything, but it's long-awaited appearance of someone I wanted to see.
Oh,
And I'm very excited to see what this looks like, what this take on this character is. All right, Creature Commandos, episode 5. Oh my god.
wow.
Definitely an opening.
Those two should have their own freaking show of their own.
I'm loving Frankenstein. I need more David Harbour for sure.
Yes, he is hilarious.
Hmm.
Here we go.
Hmm. So good. His line delivery is just so good.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
There he is.
Whoa!
There he is.
Clayface.
Voiced by Alan Tudyk, by the way.
Mm. What?
Oh,
Ooh.
Oof. Nice.
Oh my god.
This dude is. Oh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow. Then takes the dog. Wow.
Wow, man. Yes, I do want a Dr. Phosphorus episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the most I'm looking forward to an episode right there.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing more Phosphorus, but yeah, man. Wow. So let's go ahead and stop the stopwatch. Pull up a picture of the nice surprise. Very nice. I was wondering when we were going to see him, and we saw him in this episode.
Yeah.
So episode 5, general thoughts. Another good episode. I like that each episode has their own, like it's given to a respective character. One is Weasel. We got this one is Frankenstein. We're learning, slowly but surely about each character. And Frankenstein, as we've been saying, I mean, David Harbour is just wonderful in this role. I cannot wait to see him in live action. Even Frank Grillo wants to see him in live action because you see him do these like funny things like him drinking the Slurpee and whatever. Just imagine what that looks like in live action. That would be a treat. And his line deliveries, man, are so good. His comedic timing is on point. He gets the assignment. And his his just he just doesn't, he's not accepting the fact that the bride doesn't want him. He's in denial constantly, and it makes for some really good moments. Oh, she's just being coy. You always love a woman who's hard to get, this, that, the other. It's like, dude, you just don't get it. But that's what he's chewing the scenery. He's very good. Let's see. So let's see. What do I want to talk about next? Well, sticking to Frankenstein, that ending was very, very interesting. Where he's made a bond with the elderly lady, and in the end, he kills her. She has never known happiness like that with him in a long time. So if he's stripping it away, he doesn't want her to live, miserably anymore. So he puts her out of her misery. I felt so bad for the dog outside, just scraping at the door. Like he wouldn't understand. I thought it was a very well executed scene. So that's the Frankenstein part of it. And then we get to Clayface, which incredibly exciting. I've been shouting from the rooftops about how I've wanted to see a fantastical Batman universe with fantastical rogues. And here we are with Clayface, voiced by Alan Tudyk, who he's good in the role. Like his laughs, his short lines that he has, very Clayface. And I love how, he's not only voicing Clayface in this show, but he's voicing Clayface in the Harley Quinn animated show, and it's a radically different take. I think he's just such a good actor to where he can give us two radically different takes and we can believe it, and he's really good at that. Clayface is beating the hell out of Rick Flag Sr. I don't think he's dead. I think he's temporarily, he got electrocuted, temporarily out of commission, whatnot. Because I do want to see Batman versus Clayface. We all want to see that. But for what we got of him, I liked. And it's very interesting. I wish Nerdman was here of all episodes, because his point that he was making about Cersei, about her being, comedic, she's burping, she's being played for comedic value when she should be taken super seriously, and she's a Wonder Woman rogue who's no joke. This is interesting because Clayface it's kind of the same way. Like, you have the opening scene, and then you get to the part where he's playing the Xbox, and Mortal Kombat is canon in this universe, which is pretty funny. And so, he was kind of played for laughs. Did I mind it? Not, I didn't mind it, but I thought it was very interesting and opportune, because this is exactly what was being talked about by Nerdman, how, he's a Wonder Woman guy. Cersei, he's fond of that character and he wants to see her in the proper light. And I don't have a strong attachment to Cersei, so I'm not particularly harping on her utilization there. But then we get to Clayface, and now it's a villain that I care about, a villain that I love. So how do I feel about exactly what Nerdman was describing, him being played a little more for comedic value? And I guess the point is, same for Cersei, it's animation. I think you have a lot more creative freedom. You could do a lot more freeing things. But then when you make the jump to live action, you do have to show up very, in the proper light. Mike Flanagan's Clayface movie, that has been greenlit. He wrote the script, is good to go. So I'm super excited for that. And the way we understand it, it's going to be a prequel. So Alan Tudyk won't be playing that role, but it is DCU canon. So this Clayface will be the Clayface that we're going to see in Mike Flanagan's take. And I think it's there what they've been describing as a horror tragedy. They're describing all the right things. So I think whatever they've done here to make him comedic, and for us to laugh at him for or whatnot, they're gonna sort of remedy or make sure that it's the Clayface that we want to see. I mean, I got cool Clayface action. I'm cool with it, but I can understand certain people not being I don't know, entirely happy with the fact that, this big Batman rogue, he should be a massive threat, and he's kind of played for laughs. Like, I can, Nerdman's message has come around full circle, which is nice. But yeah, it was cool. I think the Easter eggs and the DCU connections are strong. And I'm looking forward to next week's episode, but I've rambled long enough. JG, what did you think about this episode?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Making sure. It was a good episode. I think it's probably one of the weakest, but it was still good. Let's see. Starting from the beginning, though, the whole lesbian thing, I was like, man, Gunn is going all in. He from episode
I wasn't
one
sure what to
now,
make of that. Yeah, I was like,
he's going all
interesting.
in.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't know that was Clayface at the time, so it was like, okay, them scared. What is going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna say, I mean, look, the whole Rick Flag, Frankenstein, monster, whatever you want to call them, their whole dynamic, dude, is just, it's almost slapstick, a more contemporary slapstick, to
Yeah.
where they play off each other so well, right? Like say him even drinking a little juices with straws, like. And you have to remember, even though he's this monstrous figure, he's still a child mentally. Preteen maybe. So yeah, I'm expecting to see those kind of comedic things, even though I don't know if they're meant to be comedic, but they just come off because of how they play off each other so well. Even the denial that look, dude, the bride doesn't want you, and Rick Flag knows he doesn't really want him, but it's like, you know what, this guy's a beast. I don't want to piss him off, so yeah, I'll just play along with him. But yeah, back to the backstory with it's if anyone's seen like the other Frankenstein live action movies, it's usually an older man that finds him and kind of, I won't say nurse him, but kind of bring him into the fold of being in the real world. And the fact that it was kind of swapped to a woman makes it even more funny. She's, I don't know if it's a love thing she has for him or just a feeling of having company. Because let's just say she's an ugly woman, right? With a dog, old, one big eye, one little eye, like who wants to be around her? She kind of emphasized that a little bit in their little dialogue they had. And so, yeah, in a way, she's kind of like him, right? Where she doesn't want him to go away. He doesn't want the bride to go away, right? And it's kind of almost similar in a way. But the fact that we're assuming that he kills a lady and takes her dog, you evil, twisted James Gunn person, you. That is so freaking evil. You killed the lady or knock her out, whatever you did to her, then you take the dog away. Like, man, and the dog can care less. That's like, dude, crazy. Yeah, but we go to, oh man, it's Clayface, right? And the Xbox thing, which was funny because I was also kind of on my Xbox at the same time too, ironically. Playing Mortal Kombat, ironically. Yeah, it was interesting. But even before Clayface comes in, that kind of childlike immaturity with Frankenstein's monster, Rick's like, you gotta hide. He just goes behind a little bird cage, fold his arms. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, that was funny. I mean, it was funny, right? I don't even know if it was meant to be funny, but just that their dialogue works so well. That's why I say, they can have their own show and do well because they're just so good together. But my biggest thing, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, when we see Clayface in live action fighting Batman, we saw how quickly Frankenstein's monster was able to defeat him. If it takes Batman 2 hours long to beat Clayface, it's going to be a problem for me. Because within like 3-4 minutes, I mean, how he had the knowledge to know that, okay, if I can take this voltage or wire out and electrocute him, it can defeat him. Like I said, it's a lot of, it's only like, 20-something minute episode, so it's only so much they can fit in. But it's a lot of confusion with this episode, especially when these guys are going to be going to live action. And like you were saying, that Cersei, whatever they want to call her, when she fights Wonder Woman, and the bride was able to go toe to toe with her pretty easily. Well, Wonder Woman have trouble with her. Frankenstein's monster was able to, I won't say easily, but took a little fight, but he was able to defeat Clayface. Will it take Batman 2 hours long to figure out how to do anything with him? So those things are kind of messing with my head a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about canon, where, I've defended James Gunn. I love what James Gunn is doing, but the one thing that he said that was like, I don't know all about that, where he was like, basically he said, y'all care too much about canon. When it resurfaced when he said Peacemaker season 1 was not canon, and then months later he was like, oh, it is canon, just not the Justice League scene. What we love about the MCU is the connectivity. We love the power scaling and the standards and the consistency. So I agree to your point about carrying that over with DC in terms of, I think James Gunn has to be a little careful about, like, I know he's having fun. We're having fun. We're liking the show, but he has to be careful with how far he goes with certain things, because people are going to bring it up. It's funny. I didn't particularly care when Nerdman was talking about Cersei, but now it's Clayface. Now I'm like, okay, Nerdman, yeah, you do have a point, because he was like, hey, what if it was? I forget the example he brought up, but he was like, what if it was this villain? How would you feel? And now we're watching that unfold right now. So yeah, I do think he has to be careful. It's easy to slip up. It's easy to, canon's important. It's period, end of story. Canon's important, and you gotta have consistency, basically.
Yeah. And you're right. Like the MCU, their connectivity was, well, at least the first 2-3 phases was done pretty well. Yeah, and when you see something and it's okay, you gotta watch it because it's gonna be canon for what's coming. You want to go see it because you want to know what's coming and be invested in the next film. So when you have all this confusion, and then you make that statement, people care too much about canon. It's because we as fans want to see a connected universe, right? Snyder tried it; it was rushed. To some it failed, to some it didn't. But we want to see that. Like, we want to see a Batman in Gotham and Superman in Metropolis in the same universe. Wonder Woman come along. Want to see Green Arrow have a role to play, possibly in Gotham at some point with Batman. You want to see the Bat family now. We want to see these. That's this rogue gallery of villains from all these heroes, but also the gallery of heroes, right? Which we're hoping that is what we're going to see with, Superman when it comes out, right? Where we see a universe where you have other heroes around, right? And so yeah, Gunn has to look. I want to have fun like anybody else. I know he wants to have fun, but dude, let's try to. I would say, of course, if he's even listening, he probably isn't. You can have fun and be complex, but also keep it simple. Right? Everything you need is right there. Don't go crazy. Just be simple with it. Put your own spin on it if you want to, but also, just keep it simple. And so, yeah, maybe it's just a nitpick with me. But like you say, like, you love Clayface, you want to see him done right. Right? It's like I love Shazam. I want to see him done right. Black Adam, I want to see him done right. Freaky Dwayne Johnson. So he's just what we want to see. Not saying that what Gunn's doing is bad.
Not at all.
I think he's doing some good stuff. I think it's a great introduction. But when you pit these beloved villains against our beloved heroes, we want to see this, what we want to see. We want to see what we've been waiting to see. And Bride going toe-to-toe with Cersei and blooding her up. If it wasn't for her having that flashback, she probably would have killed her. All right. If she goes up against Wonder Woman, is it going to be, how's that going to look? Right? If the Bride can go toe-to-toe with Cersei, could the Bride also go toe-to-toe with Wonder Woman, who's basically a demigod? Right? If Frankenstein, within a matter of minutes, figure out, if I break this electrical circuit, take the wire and fry him, will it take Batman that long to figure anything out? Right? And yeah, he's got to be a little careful with it. But back to the episode. The whole Bride, Dr. Phosphorus, they're just with each other's eyes. They're communicating with each other, right? They're like, okay, something's not right. Something's up. And what's the name? Sergey, the guy that was driving him. I think that was the name. Even though he's trying to play it off like, oh, he goes, the car going, like, what?
He tried.
He tried it. He just failed, right? And dude, Dr. Phosphorus, dude, this next episode is gonna be. I'm hoping it's gonna be good because he is hilarious, and none of these characters really have like strong. How can I put it? Performances in a way? but the little, because they all have like little lines here and there, because there's so many characters within the show. But when they deliver those lines, it is just on point. It's really on point.
Yeah, I do definitely have criticisms of the show, but I'm intentionally saving them for the finale because I want to see it all before I say anything. But the points that we're bringing up, they're definitely a part of it. And it should be interesting to see how this unfolds. Seven episodes. We got 2 more episodes left. And I'm very excited for the Phosphorus episode. I think he's been a standout in every scene that we've seen him in. Again, someone in live action, that would be super cool. But yeah, I think it's a good episode. JG, where can people find you?
JG Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 champs of Shaolin. Why? You can catch me live Wednesday nights on the OOC with that fake wannabe New Yorker Anzo, aka the Abbott and the Osiris of the Spliff King, and the Professor of Gunja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gonna Be Irie. No woman, no cry. Saturday, Square One, where we do our weekly sports talks with the man, the myth, the legend, the amazing, the outstanding, charismatic, always man of the hour. Dr. says the illest case he suffers from that realness. If you smell what Danny's cooking, and of course, with my brother from another mother, El Principe de Nueva York, with our watch parties. Prime time, one more time, prime time, super wise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. This has been the last stream of 2024, guys. Next time you see us, we will be in the new year. And with the new year comes very exciting things for the superhero space and also content. January the 1st, I'm going to make a channel announcement. It's something that we've wanted to do for a long time. You probably know what I'm talking about, JG. And it's coming. Other than that, thanks for joining and take care.